we want you to pass, but I need you to start turning in the work because you haven't submitted anything. Like a lot of this stuff, I'm probably going to give you a couple excuses from the eighth all on back. So
Mm-hmm.
let's see what happens. Because I was told you had complications, so that's the only change to that. But what was that? Oh, okay, it must be sharing. So that should help you score out a little bit. But as you can see, you got stuff going back to the eighth that you and all up into today that you haven't turned in, including the quiz. You haven't turned that in. Now I'm not doing this to alarm you. I'm doing this because we only got maybe a week left because next week is over with by the 30th. So if I just put you credit for that, show you how far away you are. So you're about at 40%, but that's only because you have all these assignments you got to catch up on.
Okay.
All right. So start working on submitting that work, like today's work too, the 21st. All right. So let me jump into it. Turn to class. You should start off with this question here, and it's Mega Blaster review. Okay. Now you're gonna copy these two problems to today's, do now, like I did here. You can see that. And I want you to take a moment to do that and get that at least started. Because once you get that at least typed up and plugged in, I'm gonna scroll to the bottom and finish up something for Isaiah's. But you can copy like you did last time, and then I'll scroll up and down as necessary. And then what I want to do, if we get this all documented quickly, and the videos will be available around 2:30, 3 o'clock. What I want to do is jump into at least one or two substitution method problems because for some reason, I think a lot of you guys didn't turn it in. Where is it at? Substitution method. So definitely the quiz. You might want to follow up with Isaiah's if you need help on finishing that up. The where is it at? I think it was the ninth. Yeah. No one really tried the substitution method thing, and it's really hurting people's grades. Like, for instance, I put in, say, for instance, Isaiah's did the work. He's at 87%. So, and if I put it in for you, that boosts you up even higher. So we got to go back and talk about that. But let me show this. Do you have this much, Danny?
Yeah.
Okay. So the next thing is I'm going to come down here and finish off this part of the problem for Isaiah. This is what we did earlier. And then I'm going to scroll back up once he finishes jotting that down so you can catch up. Once you're done jotting everything down, we're going to jump into at least two substitution method problems so you guys can go back and at least attempt at getting a higher score with the substitution method thing. We might only have time for one problem, but at least you can see how to do it one more time. All right, so where were we at with this? We wanted to get delta t by itself. So in order to do that, I'm going to take this and rewrite it as another algebra problem. So plug that there. I think I've gotten a little crafty at how to do this. So let me see here. How I want to do that. I'm going to come up one. That's what I want to do. Delta Q is equal to, that's what it is. This has to go up one. And come over. I'm going to move this and put a division bar. And then underneath it, I want to actually get rid of the I next to the delta t. So I want to bring this up one too. That there makes sense once I'm done with editing this. I'm just turning everything into a fraction, and I want to divide by I, so I gotta put a division bar over here as well. Move this over, and I'm gonna clean this up a little bit. Just give me a moment. Go. And like I said, this I is next to my delta t. So I definitely want to remove it by doing the reverse multiplication. That's division. That's why I made the division bars. So I'm going to take I. Well, I could have just typed I. Take I. I was trying to be quick about it. Here, and it goes here as well. Because what you do on one side equation, you got to do to the other. That's the name of the game in algebra. So what parts cross out? Well, i's, of course, and then multiplication sign, because nothing's multiplied by it anymore. And then i's crossed out here. But I should have waited. I keep doing that. I'll be moving too fast. All right, so I'm going to leave that, and then I'm going to show what crosses out next, so you have proper notes. That's what I want to do. Okay, so now I'll cross out my i's, right? Cross out that one too, because they're gone. I divided by I is 1. And now we can rewrite the equation again. So what do we end up with? Well, delta t is now by itself officially. Let me turn this stuff off. And that too. So now delta t is by itself. So we end up with a new equation of what? Delta t is equivalent to, and I'm going to use a small one-line fraction because we're pretty much done with the algebra steps. It's going to be delta q. And it's divided by I. Okay? Put it out so you can see it a little bit. All right, we're at the part where we can plug things in. So let's take this here. And we just got to go back up to what we have in our known and unknown values. So delta T is what we're looking for. Delta Q is 14 coulombs. So we're going to put 14 coulombs. And that's going to be divided by the current that we was given to our amps, 0.18 amps. All right, let's consolidate. So coulombs have inside of it, what is it? Something you can cancel out amperes with. So when we do that, because that's actually all the time is, how many coulombs are passing with the current flow. Now I'm going to take this again, plug it right here, and like I said, all of this amps is going to go away because coulombs and amps will be absorbed into one another to make seconds. Okay. So let's take this calculation and looking at Symbolab. Where did it go? Symbolab. I must have closed it. Here we go. So what does that become now? If I plug that in, I get this here, which is 77.7. You might as well say 7/8, so we don't have this long line of sevens. So that means that let's take all of this and finish it off. It's going to be, like we said, all that jazz, except now we know what that is going to become, and it's 77.78 seconds. All right. So we're at that point where I can scroll back up and we can review, but take minutes to do so, 10 minutes to do so. I want you to take 10 minutes at least to, let me know if to scroll up, scroll down, to get caught up. And then we're going to, pick back up at the very top. This is for Danny more than it is for Isaiah, because I know he has all this. But I'm going to leave this here. And as soon as Isaiah, you tell me you have it, because this is where we left off, these steps. I don't know if you have all this or the bottom part, but type in the chat when you want me to scroll down or scroll up. And Danny, how far have you gotten as far as what we've copied? Like, did you get the stuff I just wrote down or no?
Yeah, I was writing some of the stuff that you were writing down. I got the first top part. Like I got
Okay.
all of the top part.
Okay. So just need to finish up copying this because this is all part problem two inside
Mm.
of today's do now. So there's another problem you gotta get notes on, and that's above. So you guys can just let me know to scroll up or scroll down, and I will. Let me blow it up some more for you. Again, the videos will be shared later on today. So Isaiah, I'm assuming you're done with everything. You got the last part too. Okay. Okay. All right. At this point, Danny, I'm gonna scroll back up for you because I think he's done with everything. This was problem two. I don't know if you got it. So in problem two, solution all the way down. Did you get this part? Because I didn't get to problem one. Okay, so I'll give you guys 3 more minutes to try to catch up. Danny and Isaiah, I put messages in there, but 3 more minutes. I'm gonna switch to substitution method, and then we're gonna get ready for our next period because I think those two problems will take up at least 30 minutes of our time. All right, so try to finish up. To put in the chat or at least by voice, let me know if I need to scroll up or down for your assignment.
Wait, can you scroll up to the first? Can you scroll up a little bit up so I could copy the rest of the first problem?
All right, so you guys ready? Are you there? Sure. What do you mean, sure? Oh, that was me. Sorry about that. So, can we move to substitution method? You guys, I know Danny says scroll up. Do you have all this plus the notes? So, this is the entire Google document you have to type up that we've been working on. The videos we posted at least by 2:30. I'll try to stay diligent. Like, how am I going to add something of you guys that I can't do myself, right? So check the video out, but we have to look at substitution method because that is an assignment that you skipped on from, I want to say 2 weeks ago. That was the 9th of July. So let me readjust. I'm going to show you where this assignment is so you can see for yourself. It's the 9th here, substitution method. And inside of this problem, I gave a worksheet and also gave you a sample problem to do. Now, the problem was required, and I think a lot of people skipped on that problem. So the videos in your library. This is what I want to discuss, and then I'm gonna try to do one with you because I think it's better for you to review it than me to just talk you through it again and you're like, what happened? The videos you can like always reverse and speed up as necessary. So let's look at this. On July 9th, what was required is this, right? And you had to at least finish 6 and 7, right? Because I think I did that with you, I mean, typed up. And then this is 1 and 2. Now, aside from that, there's also the quiz that had 2 problems. And that's where it's that SSS comprehensive quiz. And we had, in here at the very bottom, 2 of these substitution method problems. Now, this is going to be something that's going to haunt you on, next Thursday's final quiz because we end this program, the summer school program, July 30th. Okay, so we're at the crunch time. I just want to make that known to you guys. And you pretty much are out of days where you can say, I can't make it to class. If you can't make it to class, you need to hurry up and contact Mr. Ortiz and figure that out because a lot of people are forgetting about the 4-day requirement. So if you already have 3 days and you miss one more day in any of your classes, you'll be dropped. And I've seen some students be removed. So just be mindful of that. Keep coming to class until the very end. You're at that point where you're seeing the end of the tunnel, right? So let me switch to the library section. In the library section, you have access to all the videos I've given or all the different classes we've had and the recordings of those classes. So you would click on, let's see here, you would click on, library and you'll get this view here. This will allow you to go back in time and look at classes. So for instance, the day where we talked about, where was it? This says, and I can look at the dates by, the subtitles that pop up. If you just hold your mouse over it, you can see what date it was. So this one is actually the 13th, right? This one looks like the 9th. And the reason I know it's the 9th because it says, if you can see that small little sensitive message that pops up, if you don't click it, you just move to it. It says summer school physics period 2020, the year, then the month, July 9th. So if I click on that, you'll see the same problem. Okay. Now I want to discuss one of the problems, but you see problems 1, 2, 6, and 7, they were due. And this is a project score, like an evaluation score. So you might want to go back and look at that video. And I think I did this with you and Danny, to be honest with you. So it'll download the videos you can view. And if you need, yeah, because see, Danny was on there. Right, so take a look at that when you get a chance and try to submit something for that because, again, that allows your score to come up some more and we're getting close to the finish line. But nonetheless, let me jump through one of the substitution method problems that can get you started in case you forgot how to do this. So I'm going to go to gradebook again, and I think it's the 9th. And that looks horrible. I'm moving too fast. All right, so I'm going to download this. We're going to do 2 of these again real quickly. I'm actually going to do problems 1 and 2 if I have time. So there's a download at. Okay. Open that up. You should see what I see. Let me see in the review screen. Okay, there we go. Awesome sauce. Now, all that to begin a new Google document. And go to my Google Apps, Docs, make a blank. And we'll call this document Substitution Method. It's a sub method. As of, what was that date? That was in, no, well, that's up today, but it's for the 9th, 1st, July 2020. And I'll try to review some more of these on Thursdays because technically we was in class. Substitution method was always done on Thursdays. We had STEM, which is mathematics, Thursdays, and we would do substitution method. So I'll try to do some more on Thursday. But let's go through one of them, right? So I did 6 with you guys and 7 in the video, and I want you to review that because it's a lengthier problem. But in the quiz, I actually gave you problems that look like this. Now these are called the equation of a line. So y equals mx plus b. The m is the negative 1/4. The x is there for input, and the 6 would be your intercept. Y is your output. So just, quick note about that. But that's mathematical. Let's get into the algebra that's necessary in a substitution method process, because you'll be using this a lot in the physics. So I'm gonna park my name, right? So Mike Tyler, and we don't have a lot of time, so I'm gonna take it from another document. I'm just gonna put that, all that jazz right there. I'm gonna take this and do that. Okay. And then next, once I have that, I can just take the problem. So I'm using sub method or substitution method, and this is problem 1. And equation 1 of problem 1, because there's 2 equations there, is basically y is equivalent to our 1 divided by 4, 1/4, x plus 6. Equation 2, though, is this. So we take, it gave us, which is y by itself. The output is basically an input of 4. All right, cool. So how do we do this problem, Mr. Tyler? Now, this is really simple. I was surprised, it gave people trouble. So like substitution method is, when you take one equation, you put the other equation to the other, like we do in physics. If you remember earlier, we had current is equal to or equivalent to the changing. I just need 2 to go to, the rest. What? Oh, I just got 2. You got the rest. I don't understand, sir. I'm like, what is he saying? You got number 2? Waiting for him to type. He just caught me off guard with that question. Let me see here. I just need number 2, right? Just need 2. I got the rest. So you want me to do 2 next? All right, and then you can figure out. Okay, all right. So let me hurry up through this then, because that means I should do 2. So y will be substituted into the equation. So we're going to say now, because the way it's set up, y can be equal to y. Now substitute equation. Hurry up. This is 10 minutes to get the next one. Substitute equation 2 into equation 1. So we're going to take this equation and we're going to make iterations. This is equation 1, right? Hold that there, and we'll take that and put that down here. But you will literally be pouring into y what y is equal to in equation 2. So let me take this again so you can see the changes. Reminds me of being in engineering school as a teaching assistant or a graduate researcher. So that's going to be y, and we're going to take that 4 above, right? Because y is equal to 4 in equation 2. And now we have this new equation. So we only have to find x because we already have y. So let's begin by removing what we don't need around the x to get what we do need. And that would be the 6 here. So all I need to do is do the opposite of 6, and that's negative 6, right? Because it's plus 6, negative 6. If you had times 6, it would be divided by 6. So understand your mathematical operations. But what you do to one side, you got to do to the other. And now we have a situation that, where some things will have like terms and things will cancel out. So these two 6's will drop out of the equation. And Isaiah, I'm doing this as fast as I can because if I still got to go over in case Danny has not seen it or would like to use it towards older assignments. So now our new equation is this, right? And down. No, I want to go down one. Let me undo that. Blow this up some so it's visible. Okay. So now I'm going to have a new equation, like I said, that's going to come down, and it's going to be that. So we still got to get x by itself, right? Well, we got like terms here, and we can just combine that. So we should have did that a step ago, right? Instead of carry that with me. So what is negative 6 plus 4? It's negative 2, right? Because it's going to still be negative, and then you just do 6 minus 4. All right, so that's true. This is true too. And next, we have this 1/4 attached to the x. Now, if you're sharp about that or quick about it, just think about the fact that that's x divided by 4. So maybe I should write it that way, but we don't have a lot of time. So just think about it as x over 4. And if that's the case, 4 is being divided. So you want to multiply by 4. So let's multiply by 4. And then what you do to one side, you got to do to the other. And I'm going to multiply by 4 here. Okay. And so when I take this and rewrite it, some things are going to cancel out again. And some things will multiply together. So we got this. We'll cancel. And that was one of the changes too, by the way. So let me let that be known. And like I said, these will cancel because there's a 4 down here and a 4 down there. And that was a change. This fraction will go away because that 4 won't be in the bottom. It cancels. And this becomes just that 4 times a negative 2, which is a negative 8. All right. So now x is officially by itself, and it's equal to what? X is equal to a negative 8. Clean that up. All right, so that's the last step of that problem. Now I got to do the next one for Isaiah, and then I think we'll be ready for a break. But try to utilize this stuff because, oh, the last part is, of course, don't forget to write what your order pair is. And that's, you saw this, which is important. The equation is already set up to give you something. So those are the easy ones. So the order pair is negative 8, comma, what was our y? 4. It's always, your order pair is always written as x, y. Now let's move to number 2. Number 2, we have, so this is problem 2 for Isaiah. And this should be not bad because there's not a fraction in there. So let's see if we can get it done quickly. I'm going to take, so I got equation 1. And that's going to be my y is equal to, what was it, 9x minus 9. And then we're going to take equation 2. And that's going to be y equals 9. Clean it up for you for a second. I think I use arrows up there. Yeah, I did. Okay, so oops. Okay, so now, same procedure we did earlier, right? Now substitute. And then the rest was algebra and substitution when we started. And I could have cleaned that up better, but for the sake of time, if anything confused you, you could always reach out to Esby, or you could review the video again. But if I had more time, there's more things I could explain or in between explain. But just know the ones I'm talking about is the steps where you talk about what are we doing here. This is algebra we did all here. So that was algebra. Right? Just want to let that be known for anybody that didn't know. And now we're going to delve into it. So we got about 13 minutes of class left. So let's see if we can do this quickly. We're substituting these equations into each other. And that goes afterwards, actually. Okay. So I'm going to take this equation and I'm going to put that here. And I'm going to plug it in again because now I'm going to substitute equation 2 into 1. So now it won't be y right here, it'll be 9. And that was a change, if you didn't notice. Moving on. Well, I want to get this -9 over there because at this point, you're going to solve for x. Warp speed gotten. So that's the next step. That's kind of what I was saying. I should have did earlier, but I was trying to get both the time in for both problems. Okay, so what do we do to get 9? I mean, x by itself, there's a lot of 9s in there. It was creepy. So that's going to be, if you rewrite it with the alterations, and I'll show you what they are, it's going to be a -9 there. So I want to get rid of that 9 and then get closer to the x. So it's going to be a +9 here to change. These are the algebraic changes, if you wonder why I'm showing the colors. The red was, in this point, the substitution. The purple will be just your algebraic changes. And if that occurs here, you will, what you do to one side, you have to do to the other. So I end up with that. And what happens here is this -9 and this +9, they eliminate each other. So let me do this again so you can see the changes as they occur. And these two will cross out. And then we have a new equation of this situation, but I shouldn't have wrote this again. I keep doing that. So what is 9 plus 9? What's 9 times 2? It's 18, right? So our new equation just pretty much is this. And I'm going to come down one. And I want to divide out the 9 because it's 9x. And 9 times x is, what's the reverse multiplication? It's division. So divide by 9 here. I'm going to divide by 9 over here as well. What you do to one side, you got to do to the other. Okay. Now, before I did that, I should have done this and then did that so you can see the changes. So what are the changes here? Well, I divided by 9 underneath that x. And I divided by 9 underneath this x. So When we do that, we end up with a situation where things cancel, right? Ooh, I'm doing good. We're close to the finish line. So that 9 will cancel out with the above 9. And this 9 will cancel out because the 9 underneath interacted with it. Now, I carried this with me, but I shouldn't have did that. What's 18 divided by 9? Well, if we think about that, that's what? 2. Okay, so we can rewrite our equation, but I think we're done with it. X is officially equal to, if you can see it there, just 2. All right, so what's our Y? Well, we said earlier it was 9, which is cool. Finish this off saying, we go with that. The ordered pair, right? The ordered pair. This question is asking you in the EDSB or in the due now from the 9th of July, Y was what? Y was 9, but X was not -8. That's from earlier. It was 2. I got that from here, our X value. And here, our given Y value. Now, it's not always going to be like that. You're going to do a lot more, but I'm going easy on you guys because this is a summer school program and this is a shorter duration of time. But you can do this much. All right, so you got about 7 minutes to get ready for your next class. I'm going to start processing this video so you'll have it available to you later on today, around 2:30, I should say. But try to work on this. Isaiah, you can come, like I said, same thing, same procedure, 10 minutes later to class, but you can use the rest of this time to break because the 10 minutes just helps students get into class, get set up, and things of that nature. So if there's no questions, you guys are free to move to your next class. You got a question for me or no? Danny, Isaiah, you there?
No, I don't got a question.
Okay. All right, we'll try to get all this stuff done, and I will see you next class at 10, was it 10? 11:10.